Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of M365 Voice. I'm Antonio Mayo.
I'm Sarah Hussey.
And I am Mike Madarani.
And we're coming to you today live. We're not often all in the same city, but today we are. So we're recording from Dallas, Texas, and the three of us are here at the TechCon365 Dallas conference.
Which has been a really wonderful event.
Yes.
And the weather doesn't hurt.
Love the weather, love this event. We always do this event in different cities. It's one of my favorite events that I'd like to speak at, catch up and learn from other speakers as well.
Yeah. The organizers here put on a phenomenal event. They always do a lot to make sure there's a great attendee experience, that the speakers here are knowledgeable and are sharing their information and their expertise broadly and freely. So it's been a fantastic event, I think, for us and for the attendees.
And they do a great job of, I think, in terms of the size of an event where it's easy to build connections with people. It's an easy opportunity to be able to connect with speakers outside of sessions, to have further conversation, networking, and building relationships. So it's been a really great week. I think that's gone really well.
Yeah, I think so too. And the content is great. You're not getting the marketing slides or marketing sessions. You might have some high level, but there's a lot of deep dive technical sessions into different products and platform and features that the attendees really appreciate, the honest opinions from all the speakers and really the real life experience that we're all sharing with them.
Yeah.
And I think we've each had multiple sessions that we're delivering. Sarah, what are some of the sessions that you delivered this week?
Yeah, so I co-delivered an all-day workshop with David Draver on Microsoft Purview meets collaboration and adoption. So it's really about determining how you want to safeguard your M365 data and how you want to safeguard while still enabling your employees to collaborate using the platforms, which is always a hard thing to find in terms of a balance point, because you don't want to be so overly secure that you make it and render it unusable as a platform and you're pushing them to shadow IT areas. And then beyond that, Viva, the Viva suite, and then SharePoint home sites and hubs.
Cool. Mike, yourself, what are you talking about?
I've done 2 sessions already and I have another one coming up. So the first one was Intro to Copilot 365. So Microsoft 365 Copilot. Just a very 100 level introductory to how you use Copilot in M365, the differences between the different Copilot flavors, what you get from the free one all the way to the paid one, and scenarios, and going through as many as I can in 70 minutes to different M365 apps and show them how you can create content or summarize things with M365 Copilot. The second one today was on Microsoft Teams channel architecture. Basically the differences between, we know all the standard channels, but more on the private and a lot more on the shared channel, the B2B Direct Connect, and how you can add external identities into your channel, share channel. And tomorrow is it's a little bit deeper into the Copilot world. It's prompt engineering and how you can really use Copilot and use prompt in Copilot to get the better answers that you're looking for.
That's great. Yeah. And myself, I did a full day workshop on preparing organizations to embrace M365 Copilot earlier this week. Did a shortened version of that as a session the next day, which was more about setting expectations and having the right preparations for deploying Copilot in your organization. And then today I did a Microsoft Purview session on real world implementation experiences with Purview. Tomorrow I've got a session on big data analytics for SharePoint. And then Sarah, you and I are doing a session together on Guardians of M365.
Which I really love. And that one is really about figuring out, especially hopefully before you implement Copilot, how you're going to deal with things like oversharing, how you're going to make sure that you have appropriate permissions on your SharePoint data. It's everything old is new again. You've got to make sure that you're securing that content, because Copilot will help to elevate its exposure, because there is no more security by obscurity when you've got Copilot in the mix.
Exactly.
So in terms of, I'm interested to know, in terms of this conference and the attendees, it is always very interesting to see what resonates with people at different conferences. In different cities, different conferences year to year, it is always very different. And to me, the focus this week has been really clear in terms of what people are going after. They want a ton of information about Purview and how to secure their data. And I'm seeing a ton of engagement around Copilot agents, especially like a 100 level Copilot agent introduction.
Yeah, I think I've seen the same thing. A lot of interest and questions about Copilot agents, and then of course Purview, which is kind of the world I live in every day.
Yeah, and one of the things that this conference has started implementing since Atlanta is the speakers event
Yes.
at night. And when we went into the hall, the expo hall, there were so many tables for Copilot agents.
That's right.
And then Copilot and AI. So
Yes.
you can see that the actual demand from the attendees is all about AI, agents, and Purview.
Very much. People are asking a lot of questions about AI, how it affects their organization, how they should adopt and govern agents, and then how to prepare their data.
Exactly.
And a lot of real world productivity tips for using AI. They had the keynote here of the AI Roundup, which was a panel-based really Q&A session. That was really good. But in my sessions, people have been asking questions around how to get started in use cases for using Copilot. So one of the things that I know that I've demoed and we talked about quite a bit is creating SharePoint pages and news articles with Copilot, which for a lot of people, it's been a new preview feature for quite some time. I think I've had access to it for maybe 5-6 months. But for a lot of people, this is the first time that they've ever seen that happen live. And that level of engagement and understanding what takes a full Copilot license versus Copilot chat has been interesting.
Agreed. One other thing I found interesting was, although we're here in Dallas, Texas, presenting, there are some people attending from Dallas, from the local Dallas area. But there's a lot of people that came in from other states and other cities. I had people in my session from Chicago and from Raleigh, North Carolina, and from Seattle, and a number of places. Wow. Yeah, a lot of people have come really far just to attend this conference. So, they do put on a really good show. There's a lot of great information, and people are willing to travel to see it.
Yeah, and I think it's like two things that would drive people to travel to this conference. One is the size. It's not huge. You're not really walking miles to get from one session to another like the big conferences, and the focus on the content, on the technical aspects of it, and really delivering these sessions based on real life experience and what we said about the marketing aspect of it.
Yeah.
During the Meet the Speakers social last night, I got the chance to talk to a couple of different attendees, and a couple of them said that they were first timers for this event, but also said that this is really their favorite go-to event because they really found it to be valuable to learn how to do things and why they should do things in certain ways versus it being about marketing slides and about the newest features and capabilities that are coming a year and a half from now that you would get at some other events. And not that that doesn't have a place, but the people coming here are much more focused on what can I take back and implement now? What can I get help with today?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's actually very few Microsoft speakers here.
There are.
Not to slag Microsoft speakers. They do a great job and they present great info. But there is often an element of marketing, like you guys said, in those presentations. And you don't have that here, which is a great. That hadn't really occurred to me until you said that. Really, there is very, very little marketing information, and it is more about real world help.
Yeah. And you always get the questions when we present afterwards. It's like, this is what's working in my environment. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Or this is what you said, it's not working. How can we make it work? So it's basically whatever typically we talk about, it relates to the back office work.
Great. Well, I think next year we've got several TechCon365 events happening around the United States. I think there's 3 different events around the United States. I'm not sure what cities they're in, but
I think that hasn't been fully announced yet.
So I think they'll probably announce that shortly after this. But definitely we would say check out TechCon365 and the conferences they're hosting, the people that are going to be there in a city near you.
And they also host FabricCon.
That's right.
FabricCon's coming up in March, I think, right?
March or April.
I think it was
and
March.
That's a huge event. So
FabricCon is massive.
Is it Atlanta again? FabricCon, right? Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure it's Atlanta.
Yes, it is in Atlanta. Correct. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity to be able to engage, and I think it has a familial feel, right? I think it's a very close conference. You get a lot of exposure to the organizers, the speakers, and the other attendees, and a lot of opportunities to connect. That's what I love about these events.
Exactly. Yeah. So a huge thank you to the organizers for having us at TechCon365 Dallas, and definitely check out one of these events. They're great events, and you'll learn a lot.
100%.
And it's wonderful to see each other in person. We don't get this opportunity very often where we can actually all squeeze in. Antonio, we can all squeeze in and be together. So thank you to the organizers for bringing us together to do that. Have a good one, everyone.